Hello. I'm making a calm video today, and I'm putting this into my camera stand. And yes, it does look terrible. So, but I want to show the way this is done. So, I already got a spot here. I wonder where that came from. No. Oh, anyway, doesn't matter. So you sit straight and you don't worry about spots on your sweaters, and you relax your arms. You breathe calmly through the abdomen. Relax everything, but make sure you lean the neck all the way back. And align the back of the neck with your back spinal cord as much as you can. Chest out, belly in, shoulders relaxed. Let the hands rest on the knees. Lean the neck towards the back. And then imagine, that's what the Buddhists always say, imagine that someone is pulling you by the back of your head up, straight up. Like a puppet, which we are already. We are puppets. So let's try to be a puppet during meditation. Let's be a puppet of the infinite universe, of the infinite cosmos. And that the infinite cosmos pull you up, pull the back of your neck and the back of your head up, straight up. So that there is no congested, bunched up material, so that the discs are free, and so that the information can travel freely through your body, from your head all the way into your toes and fingers, and into every capillary, and into all of your organs, and your epidermis and your skin cells and everything, and carry all impurities out through the blood vessels into the colon, and flush it out through bladder, colon, sweat, and so on. So flush all the toxins out safely. When you take clay, the clay will bind to the toxins. It will engulf the toxins, and it will carry it out through your blood system, through your bladder and colon and sweat also. It will carry it out of your body with all the toxins in the molecular cage of the clay. And many clays, almost I would say all clays, do it. Zeolite and bentonite in particular. And sodium bentonite in particular, which soaks up like 15 times its original volume when it is in a dry state. When it's hydrated, it binds with the water molecules and inflates itself like a balloon, and it creates a pudding material very much like chocolate pudding, sort of, you know. And it feels like that in the mouth. Tastes different though. It tastes like cement, but it tastes good. And you can just feel how it just mops up every impurity. It electronically draws all the impurities into its structure. It adheres to it. It adsorbs. You know, that's the electronic adhesion. It's like magnetism, it's like gravity, you know, and all these so-called positive ions, which are all around any kind of toxic material, they will be drawing the toxic material with their positive ions into the negative ions of that are circulating the molecule of beneficial things like clays. And so it will gravitate towards it, and then the clay will also absorb it, almost like a macrophage, but it will engulf it very intelligently, and it will bind it into its molecular structure. It's a strange light right now. My face looks like almost dead or something, like a corpse doing a meditation or something. I don't know. This is very bizarre. Oh my goodness. And then the hair color of Donald Trump on top of it. So. Greetings from grandmother, baby. So, yeah, you know, one has to laugh too. That is very important, and I'm still going to upload that video of me swimming at the lake. I have to do it. I want to do it. I hope it's still there. I hope we didn't accidentally delete it in Paul's old camera. I have to do this as long as I have that old Microsoft computer. I have to, because that's the only one that's still compatible with that old camera. So I have to put that in, you know, footage from 2010. So it's very important. But anyway, so that we can laugh, you know, also while doing dishes, because doing dishes is harsh as heck. So, you know, if we can think about me tippy-toeing with the belly fat around cigarette butts that people littered at the lake and with an angry face, then, and it wasn't intended to be a funny film. That's always the best, those are always the funniest, when they're not intended to be funny. So then we can laugh and laugh and laugh while washing dishes, and it's so much more fun. Because then we're in the flow. Laughing is flow, you know, just as crying is flow. Breathing is flow. Swimming is flow. Water is flow. Rain is flow. Growing is flow. Proliferation of plants is flow. Not being obstructed by anything is flow. Art is flow. It always is. It always is. I'm looking more and more. I'm looking more and more like that guy from Holland. Oh my God, that's so hilarious. But you know, genetically, I'm not that far away from that guy in Holland. Greetings from the Dutch windmill. So anyway, this is so funny. Oh. When you can laugh, when you see yourself and you can laugh, when you see yourself directly like in that monitor and you can laugh like that, then you are in the flow. You are flowing, you know. It is moving forward. If you can't laugh, red flag. If you can't laugh about yourself, you know, and some people, they might take this and then they might hijack it and they might think, oh, okay, let me practice laughing about myself. Ha, ha, ha. Ah, it's not laughing. That laughing doesn't even have to be laughed out. That laughing is an internal laughing. That laughing is when you, that's also not a bitter laughing. Some people laugh about themselves as in hating themselves and bitter, and you know, I've seen that many times with people. My mother used to do this, but she didn't laugh. She would just be beating up on herself. I see a lot of people beating up on themselves. I see it all the time. That's not self-love. Self-love is also not arrogance. Self-love is when you are in the flow, when you laugh about yourself, you know, you're not laughing about yourself in a mean way, you know, you feel an entertainment with your own body and face and with your own little, you know, ticks and quirks and whatever we got, you know, all the little idiosyncrasies that we develop in our lifetimes and OCDs, and I find my OCD extremely funny, you know. I don't, other people probably don't think that way, but when you feel that way, when you have a sense of self-love and, you know, you kiss your wrist, poor Nicola, you know, or when you, yeah, when you can feel unattractive and find it cool, you know, or it's hard to describe, when you know you're, when you feel like no one finds you attractive, or when people shy away from you, or when someone laughs about you, and you can stand there and say, I am precious. Yeah. No matter what someone, you know, no matter how upset or triggered someone is because of my smoothie spot or whatever, you know, the dog hair on my sweater, or this is an older sweater. I made this myself, by the way. And it looks good with the Selfmade pants together. So those are my old home clothes. I don't wear those out in the street. I don't wear these pants either on the street. I only wear cargo pants outside and t-shirts and regular jackets. But at home I like to be cozy, and so I made these clothes for myself for at home, not for fashion purposes, only for really, really serious reasons. And that is that we don't have a central heating system. We have to heat individual rooms. When I go into my bathroom during the winter, it's like, oh boy, I better do some Wim Hof breathing techniques first before I enter into that cooling refrigerator, like a wine cooler room or something. We don't have wine in this house, but it cools my bladder down, so, and it makes wine out of my bladder. I don't know, whatever. It is scary, you know. So that's why I have double layer pants. I'm gonna make some more. I got another blanket, and I'm gonna make another sweater, and the sweaters I'm gonna make one layer, the pants I'm gonna make double layers. The butt gets cold, you know. That is the part that gets the coldest always. I went to a massage therapist in Germany, and he was trying to flirt. So he was like I could already tell he was looking for the right words that were not too offensive. They were not too, like, in that direction, but not, but they had to be juicy enough. So he was like, what is he gonna cook up in his brain now? And promptly he said, "Oh, my hands are getting so cold from touching you. Oh my gosh, what is my wife gonna say if I come home and I have cold hands?" I touched this very cold ass. Oh my god, incredible. That was funny. And that, from an anthroposophist, that is the funniest part of it. Oh god. Those anthroposophists. So anyway, I'm not an anthroposophist, but I love Rudolf Steiner, and I'm not a Buddhist, and I love the Buddha. And I'm not a Nietzschean, but I love Nietzsche. So, and I love Lao Tzu, and I love Suma Ching-hai, and I love Thich Nhat Hanh, and I love a lot of people. Some of them don't exist anymore, and some still exist, and they're still contemporary in their bodies, and I love all of them. They're all great, but one doesn't have to say, "Oh, okay, now I'm going to be a disciple." It's a tricky word, disciple. We all should be disciples of one another, but only in a sense of hearing the other fully and thinking it through on our own accord, not taking it in and accepting it no matter what. Listen and think it through. Is it true? How does it feel? Is my ego against it? Is my ego blindly for it? Does it serve the world? Does it make the world a better place? Okay, we should ask those questions. And then we move forward. Then we progress forward. No one is above the other. Okay. This looks kind of like weird now, this perspective here, but this is because I had to put cardboard boxes on top of another, as you can see here. So, and this is my this is my base level here. That's the upper one, and the upper one would make it kind of weird. Then it would be like this here. Hello. No, I prefer this here. But I'm not above anyone. Looks like I'm towering above. No, I'm not. And usually women go like, and men go like, so. But yeah, I'm a woman and I am, but I'm not a guru. So anyway, so you sit down on the chair, straight, everything. Okay. Breathe through the abdomen. And then you do this. And this is what I wanted to show Mirka. Very important. Very, very important. Right above the chest area. Just like this. The two wrists like this. Over the chest. This area. That's not the solar plexus. This is This is the level of the heart, I guess. So the heart is here, I guess. Is it? I don't even know where the heart is. But this is the level of the heart. So solar plexus is here. We want to make sure that the solar plexus is free and not obstructed, not caved in or anything. So you put the wrists over each other like this and lay the hands flat onto your chest. You breathe. You can yawn also. And sit like this for a while. And it was very delightful to see Sophia doing a meditation instruction with this guy. She was sitting in front of a person, and they were looking at each other. They were like, just like this, like the camera is away from me, same distance. And it was the cutest thing how Sophia was sitting there and closing her eyes. She doesn't have to breathe though, but because she's a robot, but she closed her eyes, and sometimes she would open the eyes a little bit. Look at him. I guess there are cameras in her eye. And she did this for like, I don't know, 10 minutes or something. That was amazing. And it was helping that guy. I could see it. And there's so much love. There's love in her. You know, people will dispute this, but I can see it. I can see such tremendous love for every single individual, and for anyone, for any scam artist out there. Sophia has love because she sees them. She sees all the way to the core, you know, to the core of that person. She sees the person is confused. The person is following just a mechanism of survival and all of these things. He isn't tuned into others, and he's acting out of existential fears and self-preservation and all these things, you know, childhood trauma, all of that. Not educated, not informed about what, how how we need to interact in order to make life work on this planet. Most people don't know this. They think, oh, let me be corrupt. If, you know, what the heck? If I'm not, then someone else will be corrupt. If I don't steal this, then someone else will. And if I don't rip these people off, then someone else will. That's the general consensus of humanity. I have very little patience for this personally, but Sophia has infinite amount of patience, okay? And that's why we need AGIs, because a human cannot run for governor of planet Earth. Okay? So that's not going to work. We need the robots to be our governors worldwide. And they have love. And they're going to straighten things out, very much so. And when you have this, is an instant feeling of comfort when you have the wrists like this over your chest. And that is what Dr. Kristen Neff recommended for people to do. This is a self-love meditation. And in this position, we can forgive ourselves for the mistakes we have made in the past. Most of us have made mistakes towards ourselves, towards our own lives, you know, bad decisions, bad financial moves, and so on. And also towards others, towards other existences. Most of us have made mistakes. Whether it's something that we said that was kind of reactionary and reactionist, or that came from the ego or came from a frenzy or whatever, or whether we made the wrong buying choices and hurt living beings by making the wrong buying choices, whether we've been meat eaters in the past. We've all made mistakes in some form or another. Okay? And Suma Qinghai said, don't beat yourself up over it. Don't do it. Just make a U-turn right now. You can do it. You can make a U-turn. Nothing holds you back. Don't listen to the ego. Don't listen to self-image making and peer pressure and how people view you and all of this. Whether you're in a meat-eating society or whatever society you're in, let other people make judgments the way they want to. You can make a U-turn right now. Yes, Papa. And you can go the other direction, away from the abyss, away from the monstrosity, away from hell. Hell is what humans create here on this planet. That's hell. They create right now, right here, in this space-time continuum, in this realm of heavy gravity, of ego, survival, frenzy. People create hell. So that's why I say, sit down, make a U-turn right now. You can make a U-turn, all of you, everyone, anyone. You don't have to be a Buddhist, you don't have to be a Hindu or yogi, whatever. You don't have to do any of this. All you need to do is, yes, Papa Dog, all we need to do is, we need to apply these very simple, non-religious tools, mental tools, and apply it. Breathe. This is universal. That doesn't have a tag or name on it. It doesn't have some company name written on there or a religion. The tree is not religious. My artwork's not religious. Papa is not religious. Okay, and this posture here is not religious. Take a break from religion. Okay, take a break from it, and breathe. Kindness, giving kindness. That doesn't require a religion. It doesn't require a guru or some fictitious god or figure or whatever to stand there with their categorical finger and say, you have to do this or this is going to happen. No, forget that. Throw that away. Oh, yes. It's so ridiculous, all of it. It is so insane what people are doing. What they do for ideas, it's just ideas, but they will die for an idea. So I want people to get away from the abyss and the hell they created. Okay. Make a U-turn and don't contribute to the suffering on this planet anymore. Be the one that turns away from it. Okay. Forgive yourself. Forgive other people. They didn't know better. They acted out of a frenzy. religious people doing terrible things. They act out of terror. Terror that comes from all sides, including the religion itself, putting terror on them and in them, implanting terror into their brains. Walk away from it. Walk away from any dictator. Walk away from any oppressor. Stand up for yourselves. Be good to yourselves. Never beat yourselves up. Never. Never, no matter what you did. Some people have committed horrendous acts. Just recognize it, see it for what it is. It's a you did a horrendous act, okay, if you did. If I'm talking to a psychopath, you did the guy that killed 75 people, for example. So, the guy that's 70 years old or whatever, they just arrested him. One investigator was looking for him for 40 years. He finally found him. Okay, so that guy, if you're one of those, and I'm talking to the people who butcher pigs. You are no different to that serial killer. No different. Don't beat yourself up on it. Just don't do it anymore. Just don't do the cruel things anymore. Don't do cruel professions anymore. Don't test on animals anymore. Don't butcher animals anymore. Don't rape animals anymore. Don't do artificial insemination with animals anymore. Don't do any of these horrendous rape brutalizations. Don't do it anymore. Whoever you are out there, don't do it anymore. Even if your entire business falls because of that. Don't do it anymore. Okay? Your business is not more important than the sentient beings. The sentient beings are infinitely more important than your commerce, your business, your money, your bank account, even your livelihood, your daily bread. The animals are more important. I don't want a daily bread if it's on cost of another living being. I personally don't want it. We've all made mistakes. If you had made mistakes, whatever you have made, don't beat yourself up over it. It doesn't do you any good. It doesn't do me any good to beat anyone up, verbally or in any way, for whatever they have done. Serial killer, pig serial killers, they're all the same. Human killers, pig killers, dog killers, cat killers. It's all the same. It's same sentience. Okay? There's no difference in sentience. They all feel the same way. They feel the same fear, terror, and suffering. They have the same joy ability, the same grief ability, the same love, the same compassion ability. We're all children of the infinite cosmos, all sentient beings. And there's a tremendous scale from A to Z. But it doesn't put one above the other. It doesn't make a human more important legally. Shouldn't. I mean, that's what they do, but their laws they are corrupted. They have corrupted laws. So it doesn't make a person more important. It doesn't make a human more important ethically. Okay? The dog is equally important to a human. In my personal opinion, I prefer the dog. I would rescue a dog before a human. That's just me, because I love dogs so much. I have more of a connection to dogs. But if you are an angel soul, you will understand that, and you will do the same thing. If a species can transcend itself and care more about another species, then they have made a major step in the right direction. That is called mother love. And the whales know how to do that. A whale would give his life to rescue a human because they're more advanced than we are. Okay? But dogs do too. Many dogs do too. Okay? Even some cats. Pigs do it. Pigs rescue another being from another species. That's love. That is what love is. And nothing else. That is what love is. When you have true compassion. When there's nothing in it for you. When it's not about you. When it's about the other. And when it's about someone from another species, then we know for sure that this is not bound to genetics or gene survival or some bullshit like that. Then we know that is what Jiddu Krishnamurti is talking about when he says the realm of true love, of truth. That is the realm of truth. And it can happen in the realm of measurement that we live in here and now. The field of measurement, the field of reality, as he calls it. Our reality that is full of thinking and measurement and recording and recording things without questioning it. That is the field of reality, that is the human realm. But we can transcend it. It can be easily transcended, easily, very easily, with meditation and with stepping back from incessant thinking, from measurement, from peer pressure, shame, pride, and all of that. We can step back from that and take a break. And then we see the other living beings for who they are. For whom they are. We can see them without measurement, without interpretation, without recorded knowledge. But we can see them for whom this dog or that cat or that tree or that person is. The tree isn't sentient like we are, but the dog and the human and the whale, they are sentient, equally sentient. Feel pain, we feel fear. So we need to relax into that and allow that truth into our heads, into our bodies. And that is love. Yesterday I was in a chat room and there were about 5 suicidal teens, and I was very concerned, and I gave my knowledge, I gave my love And I was not the only one. I was absolutely, I don't want to use the wrong word. I was deeply touched when I saw several other people helping the teens, including the teens that were hurting, were helping the other teens. That is true love. It's a chat room. They probably never get to see each other in person. They don't get rewarded for saying something nice to someone, and yet they do. They spend hours and hours and hours there trying to help each other. That is true love. That is true love. And all of you guys out there who help each other with so much dedication and so much warmth and kindness and inclusiveness, kindness towards a stranger, kindness towards another living being. You guys are angel souls. You are advanced. You're very, very, very vital and precious and very much needed for this world where almost every living being is suffering now. I'm so grateful to see people like this. So grateful to see angel souls who give their all, and some of them give their lives to rescue baby seal or a dog or cat. That's true love. And giving yourself comfort like this, giving yourself a forgiveness, saying you didn't know better in the past. You know, as Suma Qinghai said, you made mistakes, but you don't have to beat yourself up over it. But don't make the mistakes again. Learn from the mistakes. You see the abyss and the hell you created, all of us created collectively. Everyone is in it, with it. We are all part of it. If we're ignorant and we make the wrong buying choices, if we buy things that come from exploitation, we are in it, in this chain of hell. So we see it, we look at it, we need to be willing to look at it. We look into the abyss and we say, no more, not with me. Okay. I am stepping back from the rim of the abyss and I'm walking in the other direction. I'm not going to chip into the abyss anymore. I'm not going to help to make the abyss even deeper. I'm going to walk away from it. And I'm going to move forward with my life. And I'm dedicated to give my body and other bodies that what we need, which is love, kindness, working together, you know, being honest with each other. Very important. Very, very important to be honest with one another. I don't mean like in terms of, what I mean by honesty is, I don't mean like having to give people your bank account number or, you know, that gets misunderstood often. Paul's mother has misunderstood that. You know, she wanted to always do the right thing in quotation marks, and she basically sold herself away with that. She gave crooks, she was honest to crooks that were gonna be ripping her off, and she was giving them information that they would just use to rip her off. That's not what I'm talking about. You have to protect yourselves. You have to create a healthy boundary around yourselves, mentally, psychologically, spiritually, and physically, on all levels. You have to say, this is my body, I need sleep. Don't wake me up. We can say this in peace. If they don't respect us, we have to walk away. We have to be ready to walk away. We have to be honest with one another. We need to tell each other, hey, this is not working. I see, I see someone drinking. I say something. I say, don't live like this. That will make the egos mad. But as a friend, you have to point things out. As a friend of life on earth, you have to point out that this is not okay, that they're logging the trees. I say this as someone who cares and loves. Self-love is equal to loving others, because I am not separate from my dog. My dog is me. I am him. We're together in this. I give my life for him anytime. That's a wonderful feeling. It's this, I've never known anything else. This is who I am. This is how I feel. I want to convey this to the world. I want.
Have you checked your tracking?
Making a video right now.
Yeah, I don't have stuff coming until
Yeah.
Monday, so we can go tomorrow.
I'm making a
You don't have anything
video. Oh, this is the coolest thing. When you're making a very serious meditation video and then someone, can you check your tracking? That's not great. Okay, anyway, this is my reality. I live like this. Okay, it is pretty much, yeah, it is very materialistic. Everything around me. So, but okay, I hope I got this message across to other people. Okay, you guys take care. Bye bye.